morning. Good morning. Let them continue to file out here. Unfortunately, I don't have howling built into my reflection. My name is Molly Helmers, and I'm going to kick off this morning's reflections on gratitude. And I promised Amy when she asked me to do this that I would not stand up here and cry, and some of you know that that is something that I do. So I'm going to keep this real light. And I'm going to talk about my perspective on gratitude and how it's shaped by two totally unrelated things: home decor and banned books. So let's start with home decor. There's a trend that started many years ago that I think is sometimes called rustic chic. And I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like the wall art and the pillows, and they have words on them, kind of like live, laugh, love, right? And one of the most common words that you see in this home decor is blessed. And if you're squirming a little, that's good, because that's what I want you to do. It's a word that my mother-in-law uses a lot. She says things like, "I'm so blessed to have you as a daughter-in-law," or "I'm so blessed to have all of my family here at the holidays." And for a while, it didn't really bother me much, right? Because a lot of people say it is kind of a cultural thing, and I knew what it meant. I knew that for her and for others it meant I'm so fortunate, right? But I also realized that for her, as a practicing Catholic, the word blessed carried a deeper meaning, a spiritual meaning. And I think that's why over time, I grew more and more uncomfortable with the word. Because as a UU and an agnostic, I don't really believe that she or I or anyone else has been favored by a higher power. So now I find myself, like some of you, probably tensing up a little bit when I see that pillow in Hobby Lobby or somebody says that to me, right? And I needed another way to express this sentiment and kind of have that feeling myself. And I found that in gratitude, which given is also on pillows, but just hang with me. I'm not blessed, but I'm fortunate, and for that I'm very grateful. And now when I read a note from my mother-in-law and it's signed, "I'm so blessed," I take a deep breath and I reframe that as, "I'm so fortunate and I'm so very grateful." And in this sense, gratitude has also offered me a way for me to acknowledge my privilege. Through my hard work and choices and patience, I've helped cultivate a lot of the things that I'm most grateful for: my health, my family, my career. But deep down, I also recognize a lot of those things are simply luck and privilege. And this is where the banned book part comes in case you were wondering. Many years ago, this was pre-COVID, at Iowa State, we hosted an author, Robin DiAngelo, for a lecture. And some of you might be familiar with her book, White Fragility, which has been extremely controversial and banned. And while she was on campus, I attended an anti-racism workshop that she led. And for one of those exercises, we were put in small groups, and we were asked to share in our small group one way that we were privileged. And I recall sharing that I was privileged to have a college education, which helped lay the foundation for a good job and a comfortable life. And then I took it a step further. I was privileged to have attended a K-12 public school that was well-funded and offered a rigorous education that prepared me for college. I was privileged to come from a family that over generations had established enough wealth that a college education was within my reach. I was privileged that when I made stupid teenager mistakes, and I made a lot of them, I promise you, I was forgiven, and I was always given a second chance. I was privileged that I had teachers who viewed me as worthy of receiving an education. And all of these things were available to me as a white middle-class person, and I am grateful for all of those things. I wouldn't say that I have a formal gratitude practice, but I do continue to try to pair gratitude with an awareness of my privilege. So when I find myself feeling really grateful for my circumstances or something, I make it a practice to also acknowledge the privilege that that reflects. I'm not blessed to be part of this community of faith. I am fortunate and I'm grateful to be part of it. And I'm privileged to not be discriminated against for my religion and to be able to live in a university community where Unitarian Universalism took root, and to have many, many people before me who had the resources and the commitment and the skills to build this fellowship. I'm grateful to be here among all of you. It's a privilege.